Countries classified as small island developing states, or SIDS, are a group of countries that share many of the same economic, social, and environmental vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities make it difficult to meet the UN Sustainable Development Goals because they are disproportionately impacted by the global climate change that results from industrialization in larger countries. Barbados is considered a SIDS by all 8 international organizations associated with the UN. The SIDS Accelerated Modalities of Action, or the SAMOA pathway, is an international framework that was developed to identify SIDS priorities that need to be considered in the 2030 SDGs. Barbados is a SIDS that's utilizing the SAMOA pathway as a framework to meet their own needs, as its coastline is already under immense pressure from human uses, especially commercial development. As you can see here, developers are building properties right up to the waterline for their beachfront value. Climate change is intensifying that pressure with rising sea levels, increased storm frequency, and the high temperatures being predicted. Our response to these competing pressures is integrated coastal zone management, defined by the European Commission as a dynamic and continuous process designed to promote sustainable management of coastal zones by balancing social and economic demands. Barbados has become a leader in the Caribbean for coastal zone management, which integrates different disciplines and levels of government. Barbados has excelled in foresight, international support, and local capacity to develop planning institutions to prepare for a future where sea level rise is imminent. The International Panel on Climate Change predicted that sea levels could rise more than 3 feet by 2100 in Barbados. Impacts due to sea level rise could be devastating in SIDS. Due to the low-lying nature of most island nations, they are extremely vulnerable to coastal erosion and destruction. According to a study from the University of Waterloo, sea level in the Caribbean could rise roughly 1 to 4 meters by 2060. Much of the Barbados coastline is only 20 meters above the sea level. A change in sea level as small as 1 meter could mean much more destruction of coastal environments and infrastructure, in addition to increasing storm surge on the island. With rising sea level and temperatures, storms can generate more power and cause erosion further inland than they could before. As a consequence of the frequent hurricanes and tropical cyclones that affect Barbados, mitigating the effects of storm surge related to such events has been a top priority of Coastal Zone Management Unit. As a part of the Coastal Risk Assessment and Management Program Component 2, mitigation has consisted of various approaches, both engineered projects like the construction of coastal defenses such as breakwaters, seawalls, and artificial headlands, and also non-engineered projects like ecosystem-based adaptation, which includes the regeneration of barrier coral reefs. The Barbados Program of Action identifies 14 categories of special challenges that SIDS will likely face in the coming years. The Commission on Sustainable Development oversees the implementation of the BPOA as part of its work program, which consists of 7 two-year intervals between 2004 and 2017 that focus on implementing SDGs. It remains unclear what entity will be in charge of oversight following 2017. Our suggestion would be to develop and implement a metric to quantify the progress that Barbados and other SIDS have made toward adopting the SAMOA pathway as a response to inevitable climate change and sea level rise.